What's up, guys? Welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with Regitale. Castle levels of 24. Validated on this archer here, so let's jump into it and take a look at what he's got. Still making sure that everybody adds me to their friends list if you want me to do your castle, because, you know, that's the only way that I can do it right now. Alright, so we have a fire mine trap set up here with, looks like only 4, yeah, there's only 4 springboards, so that looks so far pretty good. So I'm going to try to cut the angle, I guess. Well, I ended up hitting that, so that's unfortunate. This is going to hurt. Yeah, I might die here. Alright, well, I managed to use a potion, but I think I should have died if I was a higher level. I screwed that up pretty badly. I was trying to just barely hit the edge, and then I ended up landing in the jelly wall, so I had to, like, try to get away from the ballista traps doing too much damage to me. So everything just kind of worked badly there. Alright, the Defendatron's a little bit exposed right here. I'm wondering if maybe you could aggro this group with like a Snotter or something, since everything's all together over here. Even if you had like a Snotter like right up in here or something, and you had its, when you drag alt, that orange circle over here, you might be able to get this group to aggro right as soon as the person gets thrown or something. That'll just make it so that I can't, go over to this corner and snipe down the Defendatron before the battle really even gets started. I'm gonna need to buy potions after this castle, because I only have 1, which means I started this castle with 2. That one was pretty cool. I like the Cyclops pushing you back into the spike traps. I think that's a good way of getting a little bit of extra damage out of them.
Time for a tactical retreat.
Alright. So far so good. I don't want to use my last potion if I can help it. Try to make it through with only 2 potions. But so far this castle is really good on sustained damage. Probably better than mine currently. My castle currently, a lot of it is just not working the way I was hoping it would be. Which I kind of thought it wouldn't be working properly, simply because of the fact that a lot of the stuff I was just testing out to see if it would work. I changed a few things today. I had a couple good replays that I was going to do a replay video today, but unfortunately they did a maintenance, so all the replays kind of got like corrupt or whatever. Made it so you couldn't play them back. So that was a little unfortunate. I had a couple good replays. My Jimbo room is actually working pretty well for people who have watched that video. My Jimbo room's working pretty good. The first room with the Zeke, I saw the suggestion about the switching some glue mine traps in there, and I'm trying that out for right now because it is true that there's a little bit too much room to be able to dodge away from that Zeke shot. And even if it works properly, it's still not as much damage as a fire mine trap will do if that works properly. So I feel like in almost every situation you would want to use a fire mine trap over the thing that I'm doing now. And it's just because I wanted to try something different. I used fire mine traps in my last 2 castles, so I wanted to try something different. And obviously the spike room is working well as also. That's pretty standard. But yeah, pretty good castle here. Really good on sustained damage. I'm 4 levels, I think, over your castle, and I still had to use 2 potions, so people 4 levels under me should definitely have to use at least 3 and probably 4, and still run into some problems after that, so definitely could see some kills out of this castle. We'll jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, next up we have MakaveliReturn. Castle level is at 22 with 757 crowns. It's actually pretty high for level 22. So either this guy's done a lot of attacking at like high tier castles, or his castle's gotten a lot of wins. So I'm going to already just kind of expect to see some fire mine setups, because level 22 is really good for those, but I'm not sure exactly what I'll see. So let's get into it. I'm excited to see what's in here that's boosting your crowns up so much.
Let's get him, Mr. Pointy.
It can easily be attacking. If you do a ton of attacking in a day, you can get quite a few crowns just from that. If you focus on trying to get crowns, you can do, at least a couple hundred if you spend some time doing it.
Attaboy.
Alright, so let's see. We've got, looks like the first fire mine set up here. It's 4 fire mines. There's only 2 ballista traps that are pressuring the outside of it. So what I have to try to do is go through the jelly wall and see if I can kite across this. Like, nah, not like that. I did actually manage to hit the 4th springboard trap though. I actually had some negative momentum, which helped me there. So I'll talk a little bit about momentum. I don't know if I've talked about it recently. Some guys might know what I'm talking about, but a lot of people who have just started playing the game won't really know what I'm talking about with momentum because it's not really a thing that's used by many people anymore. It used to be used a lot in, you know, before camera rotation came in. You would be able to link up hunger bots and springboard traps, and basically there was no stun immunity and there was no camera rotation, so you could have a hook come through the bottom of your skill bar here and drag you, and you could pretty much get dragged throughout the entire castle if you set up your momentum well, which basically meant the hunger bot would drag you along a springboard trap, and the momentum from his hook combined with the springboard trap would throw you farther than if you had only hit the springboard trap. That's basically what that kind of meant. And with camera rotation and then with stun immunity, it just basically killed that strategy completely from the game, which in my opinion was one of the more fun strategies. I laughed whenever I would get hooked throughout an entire castle because it was fun. It was almost like a roller coaster, you know. You would get thrown, and I would get thrown from one of these, and then like this would be, there would be another hunger bot that would, like, I'd barely hit the aggro range of the hunger bot and would push me into another and then throw me, and I could pretty much get thrown through an entire castle. And it was really fun, in my opinion, but a lot of people didn't like it because it was kind of a one-shot kill. You would die if you got hit by it, but I always thought it was kind of cool. I didn't think it was really difficult to dodge either. You would just kind of aggro the room and then dodge the hook. If you dodge the hook, you were fine. The rest of the castle would be a lot easier because of it. But anyway, we don't have to talk about all of that. All I was really talking about was negative momentum. And basically what that would mean is if I have momentum going backwards towards the towards where, like, these are all throwing me into these fire mines. If I have momentum going outside of this tunnel, so backwards, it won't throw me as far as if I had like forward momentum. So basically, if I like come into it like this and I had some momentum going that way, I'll get thrown less far. So basically what happened there is I was trying to just barely hit the edge of the springboard, and I managed to start going backwards into the jelly wall, but I still got thrown. So that little bit of momentum allowed me to hit this edge right here and not get have a little bit of stun immunity, so I was able to get off of that. So that's basically the reason for that. This is kind of interesting, where it almost looks like there's two fire mines. I'm not sure if these were all fire mines or not, but it actually looks like there's two kind of stacked on top of each other. I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but it's interesting. I don't know exactly how you got that to work like that, but if that's the case, you know, you have double right here, which is really good. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. The only reason I survived that is possibly because of my level, and also because I had that little bit of negative momentum, so I was able to get unstun and use a potion in time, so I wouldn't die. Actually, I didn't use a potion, I must have just rolled away. But either way, that one setup right there is about the best that you can set it up, so good job on that. And also the double fire mines, I have no idea how you did that. But if that is indeed double fire mines, then that obviously will work well for you as well. Not sure if there's some bug that you're able to use to be able to get double fire mines on one square, or if it was just like a visual bug or something like that. But we'll jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, and lastly we have Brithaur, cast levels of 25. So we're going to jump into it here and take a look at what he's got. He also has a reasonably high crown count at 722. But at level 25 it's not nearly as difficult to gain crowns, you know? It gets steadily easier and easier for your defense to win as you gain more levels. Alright, so there are... I'm going to actually take the tick of damage to kill off the Defenatron, because it would be a lot more difficult. Okay, that is actually super annoying. I seem to never notice silences anymore, and I'm just sitting there trying to spam my spell key and wondering why it's not working. I don't know why I never look for them, but it ended up making me use a potion because of that. Alright, and this time we have... Actually, the Defenatron is being used on the Dampener rather than the IMAX, so it's almost for sure better to go after the IMAX there and remove the DPS. Once the DPS is gone from the group, then the rest of it will be, you know, fairly easy. I would argue that you'd want your DPS to be the one shielded rather than the silence. And I'm not sure if that's how you intended it, but it wasn't really working properly or what. Because I know sometimes it's hard to get the Defendertron to guard the one that you want, to guard the creature that you want. I wish there was some simple command, like you could drag the Defendertron to this creature you want to defend it or something. That would make it a little bit easier. You know, if they're both standing next to it, both one square away or something. But sometimes it almost seems like it's random. Alright, so here we have something that I did in one of my previous castles. And I'm going to heal up, I think, so that I don't die to it. But basically, what it was is that I can basically have this one hex right here where I'm moving at full speed because of those mines being in there. And I'm able to very much so easy. Wow, that was some terrible English there. It's much easier for me to kite across these springboard traps because of the fact that I'm able to have that one square, and then I accidentally hit that springboard trap and it threw me back into all of them and I almost died, but I didn't notice that on the floor. But either way, like that one hex right there does make it so you can kite across those springboard traps a lot easier. And I used to do that in one of my castles and I decided against it because of that fact. Alright, so I'm not sure what these two spike traps are guarding. But, you know, obviously I don't have to go over there for anything. Alright, and then you just kite everything else out of the boss room and it's not too difficult. Let's see how much you have actually in the boss room. See, I would say that probably these silence traps aren't really going to do anything for you. I guess if you go straight into where all of your mobs are, it would. But I think if people start seeing these silence traps, they're going to pick a side and just run along the side and then fight inside of the back end of the boss room. Or they're going to do it like I did and kite across the first room you have there, because there's nothing really stopping me from kiting in this general area. You know, there's a little bit of space control going on here with the spike trap and stuff, but other than like this springboard trap and this is still a pretty big area that I can fight inside of. So I think a lot of people are just going to kite it back into this room, and that might also be why you have these two spike traps here, is to try to prevent people from cutting into this corner, which actually does make a lot of sense thinking about it that way. But yeah, pretty good castle. But you can keep in mind that one thing that I said about those two mines in between like the jelly wall and the springboard traps. It does allow for people to kite across it a little bit better. They do get that debuff on them, but is that really worth it for them to be able to get across it? Like, I actually thought I was getting across it really well, and then I just sort of jumped across it and was running and talking at the same time and didn't notice the springboard trap at the end of it, which if other people did that, that would easily have killed me if I was you know, level 26 or down, because I only had a sliver of life remaining after that. So that's pretty good. But yeah, this is number 3, so we're going to end the video here. As always, if you guys enjoyed, please subscribe. If you want to be a part of your cast, you have to add me to your friends list first. It's the only way for me to do your castle, and then also email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. I'm only going to take level 20 and above castles after the list that I have right now. I'm going to finish off this list, so it's going to take me a little bit longer to update the list than I normally do, because I want to finish this one off and then start new, since that patch came out that I had to do targeted attacks. And so since there are targeted attacks, I can only do a limited amount of castles a day, so I have to take level 20s and above only in order to get everybody's castle done and not get too backed up. So that's what we're doing for now. So I'm just going through that list. Make sure to add me if you're already on the list, or if you want to be added to the list in the future. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.